The Bloody Podcassacre with Zac Walters and Kennedy Catherine.
Hello and welcome back to a more sunshiny episode of
The Bloody Podcassacre.
That's Zac Walters.
And this is Kennedy Catherine.
Thank you so much. We are back today with a different type of episode that we're really excited about.
Short horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
I think that short horror movies don't get the recognition they deserve.
I don't think short films in general get the recognition that they deserve.
It's because they don't get mass distribution.
Mm-hmm.
They mostly appear online. If they do have distribution, it's usually through festival circuits. That's kind of it. That's where you see the end of it.
And I think the thing that people don't realize is that it actually is very difficult to tell a story and have a narrative that is quick and successful.
Like short, concise, to the point.
And still impactful.
Yeah. The term short horror can be anything from like a minute to anywhere from like 30, 45 minutes, like an episode. You don't want it to drag out either. That's awful. But I've seen some really good ones over the past couple of years, just like through browsing. I like to use Short of the Week. If you ever want to look up short movies, they put out one every week. They have different categories. There's like romance, action, thriller, horror.
And they put out one every week, just one, or like one every genre?
I think one every week overall.
Interesting.
So like horror doesn't get updated too much. Some of them are from our list today are from I found on Short of the Week. Some are just through stumbling upon them, browsing online. I think what our goal for this week is, I think that it'll be nice because a lot of these films are accessible to everybody, where if you don't want to pay to watch a movie we've talked about, you can go watch it online. We have shared all of these on our social media for you to watch.
And we hope that you've watched them and that we can share in this experience together. But if you haven't watched them yet, you can watch as you listen. We're going to go in segments and we're actually going to stop and watch and then come back in hopes that we can all have this little day together.
And also send us your short horror film.
Yeah. Actually go out, make a short horror film, send it to us. That's what we're asking.
I think a lot of people don't know also is that a lot of scary movies that are in mainstream media with full-length movies did come from short horror films. So we have Saw, came from a short horror film. Host came from a short horror film. Lights Out was a huge success as a short horror film.
I love that one.
So good. I feel like that movie was one of those ones where I was like, you know what? They were able to make it into a full length. Because we talked about that with Host, where it's like, to like fill it with just a bunch of like garbage doesn't work. But if you can do it, it's good. And I feel like Lights Out was one of those ones that I was like,
good job.
Great. Mama. Do you remember that movie?
Yes.
Victoria, come, Mama.
Oh, I was thinking Ma, but yes, I have seen Mama. I actually did like Mama.
Yeah, it was fine. All I remember from that movie is at the end when the one baby the younger girl goes, Victoria, come, Mama. All I remember from that movie. And then they spoofed it in Scary Movie 5 with Ashley Tisdale.
Mama came out that long ago?
Yeah. Wow. Oculus was another one that was a short film. I don't think I've ever seen the short film, but I love Oculus.
I do too.
I think it's so well written. I love Karen Gillan. Is that her name?
Yep. I
love her in that movie. And I can't remember who was played by her brother, Brennan Thwaites.
Who was played by her brother?
Who played her brother?
I'll look. Yeah, you're right. Brenton Thwaites?
Yeah.
Oh, Kate Segal was in this from Haunting of Hill House.
Was she the mom?
Marisol, I'm not sure. Wow, beautiful human being. Jesus H.
That movie was, I should watch it again. I haven't seen it in a couple of years.
I haven't either. So should we do our first movie?
Yes, the first movie, the first short that we're going to do, we have both seen it, but we're going to rewatch it quickly. It is called Double Tap. It was part of the South by Southwest Shorts coverage week that they did at South by Southwest this past year. But with coronavirus, all of the shorts were released online. So you could go watch them all when they were released. And I think they were free.
Yeah, they were. I watched it recently.
I don't remember, but like during the time.
Oh, sorry.
I don't know if they were behind a paywall or not. This movie is directed by, I'm not even going to pronounce it, Eros, first name, Vlahos, last name. Eros Vlahos. It's made in the UK.
Okay.
We will watch it quickly again.
And we will be
right back.
A stunning masterpiece.
You know, and it's one of those, I'm really picky with comedy horror.
Me too.
And I think that just, like, I think that this checks all these, like, boxes of comedy that I'm like, this was good and funny and short and sweet. It has a 2-minute and 53-second runtime.
The premise is that this girl is scrolling through Instagram. She comes across a post basically saying, like, this post. It's like a chain email. If you don't like this post, this man is going to get you in the night.
The dickless troll is what it's called.
Yeah, the dickless troll will be coming at you. And she doesn't like it. She scrolls past it. She wakes up in the middle of the night. And there he is, the dickless troll.
Sucking on her thumb.
Oh, he's so
grimy and
gross and
I
creepy.
hate that it's the photo. He's essentially this naked man. His genitalia area is covered by an Instagram, Facebook sensitive content.
Yes. Warning.
Yes. And he just has thumbs because he wants double taps, as the movie is titled. And he's hungry for blood.
They get in a bit of a tussle until she is able to open her Instagram, find the photo, and double tap the photo. You are right. It has the perfect balance of sort of cheeky comedy, and he is this creepy character, and he's gross, but he's not scary.
No. If you woke up in the middle of the night and you were reaching for your phone and something was sucking your thumb, oh my God, I would lose my...
The sucking of fingers and toes in horror
or in general
or true crime, there's something about that is it's not okay.
This short film premiered at South by Southwest, like we mentioned, and it went through the festival circuit. I would love to go to a festival right now.
Too.
Just anything.
Music, film, dance, art.
Dance festival sounds perfect about now. This director also did a short film called Right Place, Wrong Tim, which I've seen a couple times. It's another kind of comedy.
Right Place, Wrong Tim.
Yes.
I was like, I could not make sense of that.
No, Right Place, Wrong Tim, and it's about time. But this director said that he wanted this film to not be serious, obviously, and just to be fun. But he jokingly reveals that he aimed to get revenge on Mark Zuckerberg, the good old Zuck, and to make his mom proud.
That is the most beautiful motivation I think I've ever heard.
One thing that I have known about this movie is the dickless troll. There is no special effects, no visual effects. Everything is just makeup.
Yeah, I think you can tell that.
Yeah, but like...
It's a very well done job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The only visual effects are probably her scrolling through her phone and the censoring.
You sent this to me one night, and I put it on the old TV, and me and my roommate were both like, complicated emotions, funny, and also, right? I do not like this dickless troll.
Because also, we grew up in an age where chainmail was so alive and prevalent.
Big.
Terrified the living shit. Did you send out chainmail?
I don't think I did, but it did scare the shit out of me, and if I didn't forward something on, I thought about it.
Right?
I was like, it's coming.
That woman is going to be where it says it was, and
Absolutely.
I'm going to die. So will I send it to 4 emails? Yes, I will. Will I risk losing my friends?
Yes, I will.
If they don't forward it? Yes, but I'm not going to die.
The 2021 version of taking your friends in a giveaway.
Oh? I'm so sick of it. I'm so tired of it. The only person I know, Phil won one recently. She won like...
Congratulations, Philippa. Sometimes I just won't even look at my notifications because I just know.
I know. When it's like someone tagged you in something on Instagram, I'm like, no one's tagging me in a meme. They will send it to me in my DMs if they want to.
100%. I haven't posted on Instagram all month. I know it's going to be that.
I've had this weird relationship with Instagram recently where TikTok has told me Instagram is just for people posting lies, which essentially it is. Everything is like everything is so...
social media in and of itself is a lie.
Yeah. This one was talking about how TikTok is very well liked because it's very mundane, and it's a lot of TikToks I see are very like people just doing their everyday things, making eggs, getting in their car, going to go groceries, like those compilations of people just doing the same thing over and over again, and where it's like there's like a sense of realism, whereas Instagram it's like you have to have this body, you have to show that you're on a vacation, you have to make sure it's edited and pretty.
I think that is extremely dependent on your curation, because
True.
I wouldn't say that that's not true of TikTok. I consider myself a content creator across several different types of media. I am not a person who presents myself online exactly as I am in person because I'm a writer and I have a comedic thing that I'm trying to perpetuate. And so when I get comments on my TikToks or somebody says something about something, in terms of people thinking that everything is just for the forward truth, I'm like, oh no, this is all written in some way. So don't trust anything you see, whether it's somebody on TikTok or someone on Instagram. Like, you just have to have, for all of that stuff, a certain level of critical thinking.
Amen. Put me in my place.
I did, and I will.
So that was the first short film.
It was great. I loved it.
Don't have a lot really to say because they are so short.
Okay, let's maybe move on to the next. What are we going to watch next?
Do you want to watch another very short film, or do you want to kind of dive into something that's a little bit more lengthy?
Let's give us some length.
Let's do Vicious. I've seen this actually quite a few times now.
I don't think I've seen this one.
There's one scene which in the thumbnail on YouTube is the scariest scene in this film.
Okay.
And I'm very excited to see your reaction for it.
Okay, I'm excited.
So we will get back with our thoughts. Vicious.
Terrifying.
Yeah. It really
was a scary one. So the premise of this one is this girl comes home and the door knob is a little askew and she pushes open the front door to her house and the door has not been locked. She senses something weird. She goes to bed. We realize that her friend, roommate, sister, it's not clear, has died, and that person lived with her and had sensed a presence in the house at some point.
It had nightmares.
And as it goes on, she is confronted by what kind of looks like a demon version of this person who has died. There was a moment when it first started to get scary where I was like, okay, this is a little low budget. I'm not sure that this is going to be scary. And then it was. Quick horror really works for me.
It's because it's short, concise, sweet. That's it. It gets to the point. It doesn't have to beat around the bush to be like this weird metaphor of like, oh, is it scary? Is it not? You know, it is. Here's the scare. Here it is.
Yeah, you don't have to work through like 20 minutes of plot buildup and ups and downs in energy. It's just tension, suspense, scare. I really like it. I like that one a lot.
And the nice thing is, like, even if we don't understand who this other woman is, it doesn't matter because we don't even know the main character's name. We just know that she's someone who just came home from who knows where. Something's wrong. The nice thing about short horrors is it's just a glimpse into their lives. It's not like... I'm trying to think of another one where it's like a full-length movie where it's like you have to know their whole background of who they are and why this is happening. It just can.
And I think it's also simpler to put yourself in a position when there's not all this heavy backstory and you're not assigning a character to this person. Because she walks into the house, senses something, and immediately picks up a knife. And you were like, oh, have you ever done that? And I can see myself and feel myself in that character because I know nothing about her. I get to project whatever I want onto her. And I was like, yes, I have lived that moment many times.
Also, love this character that she keeps turning or trying to turn on all the lights in the house.
Yeah.
We don't need to be in the dark. Whereas everybody else we've ever seen loves the dark.
This was a logical redhead. I liked her.
Me too. The one scary scene for this, which I said stuck with me, is she wakes up from a nightmare of dreaming of her sister, the other person who she lived with who has died. And this person saw a weird black hand claw kind of thing. She wakes up and we realize that it was just a dream. Her bed faces not the doorway, which is not good feng shui. Fun fact. You should always be facing your door, I think, when you sleep.
Interesting. I don't. I used to, but I don't anymore.
How do you feel about your bedroom now?
Much better.
Interesting. Maybe you're not supposed to. I don't know.
I prefer not to have to stare directly into the door frame.
That's fair. But her bed, the door is to her left of where she is sleeping. Right at the end of her bed is a chair with a pile of clothes on it. She turns on her bedside light, and we just see it's a pile of clothes. But she turns it off, and it keeps flashing between us looking at her curled up under her blanket, back to the chair, and finally, like, the third shot of the chair, we see movement out of, like, this pile of clothing, and it turns out to be this figure with long black hair, and just, like...
long finger starts crawling towards her, and then starts crawling on the bed before she's able to reach and turn on the light. And, yeah, no.
No. She took so long to turn on the light.
She really did.
Like, if I would have saw, like, a piece of clothing move, I would have been like, lights on, let's go.
Yeah, yesterday I had a moment kind of similar where it was late at night and I stepped outside for a moment and I was just standing in front of the front door and there was like a Christmas tree type of decoration outside the front door. And for so long in my periphery, I knew it was there and I couldn't remember what it was. But I didn't feel nervous about it until just at some point in my head, I was like, it's been 30 seconds and I bet that's a person. And I flinched so hard and turned, and then I was like, just kidding, that is a tree. But it took me so long to just do the mental math of like, what's happening right now?
But also, like, you're not looking directly at it.
No.
And you're preoccupied, whereas she's literally just staring at it.
Yeah.
Watching it crawl on top.
That's true.
She took way too long to process what was happening.
You're right. You are correct. 10 out of 10, really liked it though.
And I would always recommend it. It took me a really long time. I had to text my friends to figure out what the title was again.
Oh, is this the one?
Yes,
I'm
this
glad
is the
you
one.
found it.
Oliver Park, written and directed by.
Good work, Oliver.
We love to see it.
Moving on to the next. What's the next?
I don't know.
Let's do... I feel I could go for A Tall Man.
This is one I haven't seen. I just put it on because tall men freak us out.
Tall Men freak you out.
It freaks me out.
Yeah.
Characters in which they are taller than the dorm frame is what it is.
Really, it's hit
Because
something.
I am a tall man.
It's hit a nerve in you.
Yes.
Let's watch it. Well, I knew you were going to hate that one, and you did.
I did. Ugh, it's so unsettling.
So the premise of this one is girl gets home from wherever she's been at in her jean dress, and she looks in her closet, and there's a pair of dress shoes that look as if a person is standing there. She moves the clothes aside. There's a little scribble on the wall saying something about the tall man is here to stay.
He wants to play.
And she's just kind of working around her house, and
Completely ignores it also.
Yeah.
This children's scribble. She lives alone in this.
And she really just did not care. And then she keeps seeing the toe of the shoes around like corners and stuff. And then we see the tall man, and the tall man gets her in the end.
Yeah.
Tall man was terrifying. I
Until
saw
the
him.
end.
His face is not whatever.
Yeah, it takes you out of it a bit.
But the second I saw him kind of like hunching in the hallway, I was like, Zach, turn away, my child. You're not going to sleep.
No, I do not like it. It's just, I don't know what it is really. It's so bizarre to see tall people just chilling.
It's so bizarre that tall people exist.
And I am one of them.
You really are. You know what I hate in horror movies or thrillers or anything is when people just so clearly disregard A, their instincts, and B, the thing that is happening. You can't ignore a physical thing that's in your house. And there's just all these moments where, like, she sees the shoes and then she just, shakes it off? Like,
Yeah.
You don't shake off something in your house.
No, that, isn't yours, potentially.
No. I would simply be like, I must leave if I saw a children's scribble on my closet
Yeah,
wall.
I would call someone and be like, hey, I'm going to come stay the night and come back in the morning.
Yeah, if I
with
ever
somebody.
do. If
Yes.
I ever do.
One thing I noticed is unintentionally, this is the Home Alone series we've done so far. It is
You
about
are right.
one woman being home alone
It's
with
always
Yes.
a woman home alone.
with some malevolent force in her house, which they are not expecting to be there. Mm-hmm. Very interesting. I don't think that either,
Of the next two.
but we're just going to do one. But the two that I have picked are A Woman at Haloma.
Woman at Haloma?
A woman home alone at night.
Oh, okay, yeah.
A woman at Haloma. I listen to Borat.
Me and Zach had a moment where we realized that for about 2 minutes we were just really intensely discussing the property value of her home. And then I was like, what are we doing?
But we were really, I think, trying to distract the fact
That we were feeling
terrified
horrified.
by the tall man. Mm-hmm. The tall man, very similar to Slender Man in a way,
Yeah.
except he is bandaged versus just like a skin figure, and also looked like he had spider eye. I didn't really get a close look because it was a fast shot. We
Yep.
could go back, but I don't care to do that.
I don't care to do it either.
I don't want to see
I've
it
seen
again.
it and it's been done.
Yes. Would recommend, though. A very fun little,
All of these things are so quick, there's no time wasted.
yeah,
On to the next.
which is going to be our last one.
I think we should just do them both. The other one's only a minute.
You're right. No, you're right. This one, I saved it, but I don't think I watched it.
The minute long one?
Yes, it's called Tuck Me In. I'm pretty sure this is not original. It's been done before in a lot of scary movies.
Okay.
I feel like we could just watch it and
Let's
talk
just watch
about it.
Yeah. I'm going to let it just run.
Yeah.
Oh, God, children are terrifying.
Especially when they don't mean to be,
Yeah.
you know?
Daddy, can you tuck me in?
I'm not about that.
I can't, actually. That dad seems... I'm not into that dad.
Ugh. See, you've seen something like this, right?
Yes.
Where this is I've seen it. There was a girl one before.
Yeah. Ugh, this is the overused trope.
Yes.
Daddy, there's someone under my bed. Or did you hear that? I heard it too.
But essentially, it's please look under the bed, but the person under the bed is the real child.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that one was fine.
I've definitely seen it before, but not that specific one. Mm-hmm. But it's such a, like, have you ever heard of, like, those 2-sentence horror stories?
Yeah.
That's, I think, one of them.
Okay.
But where it's so simple, but it's really threatening. Like, it's so terrifying.
It's very effective.
What a concept.
Yeah, I like it, but it is just used so much that
nowadays
you watch it and it's a very basic formula. So the last one that we're gonna do is called Don't Look Away. It looks like it looks good to me.
It went through some film festival series. I'm gonna be honest, the acting in this one is not it.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
It is not it, but it's a great concept. Okay. I think.
Okay, well we'll be back.
We'll be back in a minute. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry that I made you watch that.
I just really need to know at what point any of those people were like, I think I have a future in acting. Because what?
I still think the concept.
I love the concept. I think it would have been better if they'd filmed it with Barbies, because those people really got to get out of here.
One, the cast is...
Can you tell me the concept of it?
So the concept is this disheveled woman who looks like she's 30 but is supposed to be 15.
She's also not disheveled.
Not at all, but...
She's very put together, but like in an outfit for a toddler.
Yes, so disheveled.
Sure.
Mental health maybe isn't running well in the family.
I would think not.
So she...
Genetics confusing.
She is supposed to be cleaning the house because the mother is coming home and her brother is being a bully.
Wild and out in these streets.
Yes. What was his name? Josh?
Jim.
So her brother Jim is bullying her. There's some bad ADR. He's like, oh, you don't have to cut the lawn because it's going to rain tomorrow.
And you're like, what? It's sunny outside, Jim.
Woman, we don't have a name for her.
No.
Melissa.
It feels like it.
Yes, Melissa, we'll go with.
Sabrina Twyla. Really? Her name's Sabrina Twyla.
Who's Danny Roy. Jim Marshall. The
Charlie
creature.
McCarthy is the creature. Sabrina Twyla?
Her name was probably Sabrina then in the show. Anyways, so we'll go with Sabrina.
Okay.
Sabrina goes and looks outside because she's like, it's sunny,
You're
Jim.
so stupid, Jim.
And she looks outside into her multi-million-dollar mansion's backyard, front yard, whatever it is. And there is a man who is very reminiscent of the man in The Strangers, with a potato sack over his head that is covered in chains, 2 eye holes, and a disheveled tuxedo. And she's staring at him. And she receives a phone call and answers it, but does not look away, even though she hasn't been given that instruction yet.
Yeah, it's very unnatural.
She just answers her phone without looking at who's calling her, and I would never do that because I screen all my calls. So she answers the phone, and it's her father. He's just talking about, like, everyday things, like, Mom will be there, blah, blah, blah. And then she's like, Dad, there's someone staring at me outside the house.
He's really creepy.
And he's like, what does he look like?
Like, he's wearing a suit and he has a bag on his head with chains and he's looking at me. And the thing that was confusing is they both kept being like, he's looking at me. He did not have eyes.
No, he was far away.
She kept squinting. I'm like, you can barely see him, it seems like, based on your facial acting. And yet you're like, he's staring at me.
Also, it's like, maybe you need some glasses.
Yeah.
Also. But anyways, the father is well aware and versed in this universe of the creature.
Yes.
And has been following him around. He's like, do not look away.
Whatever you do.
Make sure Jim locks the doors. I will be home soon. Great. Jim strolls on in after Sabrina calls for him. She's like, go lock all the doors. Like, Dad just called. He'll be home right away. And he's like, I'm Jim. And comes and looks at the creature, screwing them both over. But then Sabrina decides to be a hero and
she's
break
like,
the
Jim,
rules.
I don't trust you. You look at the thing. I'll lock the doors.
Yeah.
Making up rules as she goes.
Yeah.
She's like, I think it's fine if you stare at it. Sabrina explicitly, that was not the instructions that were given to you.
So what she does, and her father was home in 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Couldn't wait. Had to be the hero of the day. I hate those people.
Demon.
Sabrina goes, locks all the doors, comes back, looks for the creature where Jim is looking, and hers is gone. But to Jim, Jim's creature is still there. She gets mad at Jim because everything is Jim's fault and not hers, and she cannot take responsibility for her own actions. She turns around and the creature is now inside her bedroom. But then she once again is like, I'm the hero. What if I put tape over his eyes because I have tape in my bedside drawer?
The only thing that exists in her bedside drawer is this obscenely large roll of tape. I have a lot of questions about it. I'm not kink shaming. I'm just wondering.
Why?
You're 12/30?
13 going on 30 is literally Sabrina without the good perks.
You couldn't be more correct.
So she decides to just walk up to him,
Tape
slap
his
on
eyes.
some tape, and hope for the best. Plot twist, it's not the best.
He doesn't care.
No, and he goes towards Sabrina, but then Jim looks away from his guy.
To help his sister, because his sister's being attacked. You know what, Jim? You've been told. You broke the rules. You deserve what's coming to you. Then the dad just comes in out of nowhere. Midwestern white Texan man?
Yes.
White mustache. Could have been the Colonel.
Colonel Sanders was in a film. On a motorcycle, probably. And then he takes a mirror, puts it in front of the creature's face, and poof, gone.
Creature's gone. And he's like, this has been a problem ever since I met your mother.
And it's like, is this the last episode of How I Met Your Mother? Because it could have been. He then realizes that there's another creature still lurking around because Jim also looked away. So the creature was then living in the woods.
Yeah, then it cuts to the creature in the woods, the mansion being empty. I don't know if
the mom was coming over. I don't know. It was
Are
all,
they dead?
You know,
Hard to say. I kind of hope.
Kind of. I really hope so. Fuck that family. Anyways, great concept. I do like the whole, like, we have Don't Breathe. We have... There was one...
I like this creature because he said, eat the rich.
Oh, yes.
And he did.
There's another short horror movie where they're not allowed to move, which is really interesting, where the creature will, like, see them. Mm-hmm. It's, like, physical movement. So they're all this, like, apartment party, and they're all just, like, frozen, trying not to move or make a sound. Terrifying. Little things where it's, like, based off your senses, where it's, like, don't look, don't speak, don't breathe, don't make a noise. Like, those kind of things. I'm like, what a great concept. Mm-hmm. Because it's so easy to just, like, build off of that.
Truly.
But this one, it just didn't
hit.
No, do not watch it.
You
want to know something wild? 27 million views.
How and why? Can we look at the comments?
No.
I'm going to look on my phone.
I think I can also look on my computer.
Because I'm going to need to know how the vast majority of folks felt about this. Don't look away. Don't look away. The first comment. Plot twist. The dad is Albert Einstein's youngest brother. Bro, he just kind of let her put that tape on his face. It's kind of sweet. Super chill brother be like, oh wow, what is that?
He really was too much.
I won't be home for another hour. 20 seconds later, I'll be home in 10 minutes.
What? You know what, though? Things change. Did you see the one that says, daughter almost got blinded by ghost? Dad, sorry, sweetie, I'll explain it tomorrow. That was also a weird thing.
Next comment, I don't even know how to explain. Explains with a lot of detail.
This movie has, like, a lot of plot holes.
Yeah, a lot. Dramatic, suspenseful music plays. Girl puts tape over eyes. Thing. Understandable. Have a nice day.
When you look away, the man. So you've chosen death?
So you woke up and chose violence for both of us? He has a crush on you. No wonder he's staring at you. Come on, give him a chance.
Also, this comment, very correct. He could have told him just to use a mirror. He didn't want to kill himself.
Yeah.
This comment, when you look away, it gets closer. Cuts to the scene with the monster in the woods far away from the house.
Exactly. This video is actually just a commercial for flex tape. This is kind of a sweet comment. I watched this when I was about 10 and now I'm 13. It scared me. Now I am not scared of that idiot anymore. I'm happy for you, sweetie.
Someone has a theory here. Okay, this one says, theory. The monster/creature might have been the mom's past husband. Some evidence I've piled up all together for you is the fact that the monster creature started following this family right when the dad of this story married the mom. Also, we can say that the monster and creature stopped doing bad to the family when the mom arrived. With all this evidence, there is a high chance that the monster or creature was the past husband of the mom and is currently shown in the story. No, I don't like that.
I don't either. Yeah, so you're telling me these people just leave all their doors open and unlocked. And part of it, she goes to lock the doors, but she has to physically close the open front door. And yeah. I'm like, why was your front door open?
Like, there's some comments that are like, this is the most interesting horror short I've ever seen.
You're lying. Who paid you to write that?
Someone commented, and we need a That's How I Met Your Mother. Anyways, do you remember that short horror film? It wasn't supposed to be a horror film, but it was a jump scare movie. And not a movie, it was a scene. And it was supposed to be like this car commercial. Do you remember this?
Oh, is it
was
the
like
one where the car is going down the winding road?
Yes.
And then, yes, I do. That was one of the first
things relative to horror that I can remember.
Yeah. That was kind of like a chain email.
What a time.
What a time.
That scared the living shit out of me.
That is still terrifying. Can you see if you can find it? Let's watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Easy.
Oh, God, I feel like I'm going to fucking scream. Oh my God, the music is so funny. Oh God, I don't remember what happens. Oh no.
Oh my God, no, I am so scared. I am so scared because it just jumps out and then it's like,
ah, Jesus fucking Christ. Oh my
so
God,
watch
of course it's German. Oh my God.
Oh my God, it's an ad for coffee to stay awake while you're driving.
That hurt my throat. Oh, that's kind of funny. I never knew that.
I thought it was a car commercial.
Well, I hated that. This is the first, maybe the last, short horror film. Oh, fuck, I just broke my mask. God damn it. Anyways, this was, say something. I need to put my mask back together.
This was the first collection of short horror films. It might be the last, depending on what people think of it. But it's very interesting to take a deep dive into something that is not just horror movies that are theatrical releases or readily available to all of us. I mean, these are, but it's nice to see not people getting paid millions and millions of dollars to make something shitty, whereas these people are spending their hard-earned money to create something, or, you know, getting creative grants and such to put their creativity to use when Hollywood is a toxic environment, which is hard to get into.
I also think it's just nice to have these things that are just easily digestible, quick ways to fill some time.
Yeah.
I love them. Thanks so much for watching, you guys, with us.
You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Podcassacre. You can also send us an email at thebloodypodcassacre@gmail.com. Send us your favorite short horror films. Have you made one? Do you want us to review it? We might tear it to shreds, but you know what? It's called humble criticism.
Humble amateur criticism,
Yes.
as neither one of us makes films.
Well,
You kind of.
I did at a point in my life.
Yeah.
But not to say that I was Hollywood rated, but I do also appreciate all the work that goes into them because it takes time. It's a learning process constantly also.
For sure.
If you would also like, you can listen to our podcast on YouTube. The channel is The Bloody Podcassacre. If you could go like, comment, subscribe, refer it to your friends, give it to your parents. Got a teacher? Got a coworker? Give it to them.
And then
Share it.
rate and review on Apple Podcasts. We'd really appreciate it. Until next time.
Generic movie quote from podcast ending for Podcassacre.
And goodbye.
Goodbye.